Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this BAFSA webinar on why the sprinkler industry needs training and qualifications. This morning, we've got three tremendous speakers. Ruth Oliver, who is BAFSA's Skills and Qualifications Advisor and has been with us for the last 6 years and has led us on the trail of providing qualifications and training for all members of the sprinkler industry. She will be followed by Harry Hunter, who is a lecturer at West College in Paisley near Glasgow. And Harry has assisted us in providing courses firstly at West College and now providing online courses throughout the UK, and has been instrumental in getting all our courses onto an online provision. And lastly, we've got Alan Crichton. Alan Crichton is the director and chair of the technical committee for BAFSA. He also delivers the design courses for BAFSA and delivers a design course for domestic and residential courses under his own company as well. So a very warm welcome to our three speakers. And we'll start with Ruth Oliver. Over to you, Ruth.
Thank you for joining me in this webinar, and having worked with BAFSA since 2014 on their journey into education, I am pleased to share some of the achievements and outcomes of their hard work. Those who work with fire sprinklers know that sprinkler systems are designed to control or extinguish fire in their early stages. Since the fire sprinkler evolved into a mass market product in the late 19th century, it has delivered many benefits. Fire sprinkler systems have saved lives, quelled countless fires, boosted economic growth, inflexibility of building design, and given firefighters that bit of deserved relief. This makes it easier and safer for building occupants to exit the builder and for firefighters to extinguish any remaining fire. It is no wonder people look to the fire sprinkler as a firefighter in every room, which is changing the way modern buildings are constructed and used. But the fire sprinkler industry, as with many industries, brings with it many challenges. Significant change is inevitable in the coming years. An ageing workforce means people retiring from the sector, taking their skills, knowledge, and vast experience with them. And there is now an urgent need to attract a new generation of young people into all areas of the industry, including installation, design, project management, and maintenance. And training is at the forefront of BAFSA activities so that our continued promotion of the benefits of fire sprinklers is not to be wasted. The establishment of the BAFSA Skills and Development Committee, with BAFSA and its members actively participating in the development of training and qualification opportunities, including content setting, promotes a professionalised industry, ensuring the workforce is fit for purpose and ready for the challenges and opportunities that are occurring in this, the 21st century. We recognise that competence is dynamic. It can be developed and must respond to change. We know the cornerstones for developing a suitable skilled industry are good quality education as a foundation for future training, a close matching of skills supply to the needs of business and labour markets, enabling workers and businesses to adjust to changes in technology and markets, and anticipating and preparing for the skills and competency requirements of the future. The intense interest in the sprinkler world that followed Grenfell has not ceased, and workplace competency has never been more questioned, explored, and expected than now, and by those not just in the industry but those outside. And the recent Raising the Bar report, drawn up in response to Dame Judith Hackett's review on fire safety regulation, has as its initial aim the creation of a framework for the safe construction of high-rise housing blocks, high-risk residential buildings, or HHRB in Hackett's jargon. But its ultimate ambition is much broader, nothing less than a system for proving life safety competency of individuals working across the whole industry, consisting of a combination of accredited third-party certification, level 2 or 3 qualifications, card schemes, CPD in the form of refresher training and maintenance of individual skills, and installers having a core knowledge of fire safety in buildings, training to be standardised and made mandatory. June 2019 saw the long-awaited industry skill card being introduced, a smart chip card for the fire sprinkler installer, as supported by BAFSA, which provides proof that individuals working on construction sites have the required training and qualifications for the type of work they carry out. This credit card size card enables contractors, clients, and third parties to check the qualifications and skills of the holder, making sure that workers hold a competency-based qualification and have the right skills for the job. The card allows all qualifications and certificates gained by the holder to be held securely on one card. Applicants can apply for a blue skill card, for which the Skills for Justice IQ Level 2 Certificate in Fire Sprinkler Qualification is required. With over 60,000 card holders across the country, which skill card is right for you is a common question. Industry Skill Card has a specific area on its website to assist whether you be in training, experienced or skilled. But why do we need to train and develop our skills in our workforce? More and better education and training fuels innovation, investment, economic diversification and competitiveness, as well as social and occupational mobility, and importantly, the creation of more productive and more rewarding jobs. Put more simply, industry needs to equip learners with the practical knowledge and skills to carry out their jobs with competence and confidence, ensure that learners gain plenty of work experience while studying, and give employees and employers confidence in their ability. In summary, it needs to ensure it has a workforce fit for the 21st century. And so you may ask, what are the benefits of training? Well, those looking for their first jobs are better prepared for a smooth transition from school to work when they are given adequate vocational education and training opportunities, including in-work apprenticeships and on-the-job experience. Those already working require regular opportunities to update their skills and learn new ones. Lifelong learning can offer lifelong employability. BAFSA commenced its journey into education and training back in 2014, following a labour market survey which highlighted gaps in workforce skills and knowledge. Coupled with a recruitment shortage, it was clear that the industry required accredited training and qualifications. And BAFSA is very proud to have developed the very first national qualification for fire sprinkler installation, which is now delivered in colleges across the UK. Furthermore, I'm pleased to say that we have excellent working relationships with our course tutors, one of whom you will hear from later. The main objective of this qualification is supporting a role in the workplace. It has two qualification purposes: confirming occupational competence and confirming competence in an occupational role to the standards required by industry. It introduces new and existing installers to the practical skills and knowledge required to install automatic fire sprinkler systems in industrial, commercial and residential settings. The qualification content was set by the industry for the industry, and to achieve the full qualification certificate, the learner must achieve these 7 mandatory units. This route to achieving the qualification is for those who have demonstrable 3 years experience of working within the fire protection sector, installing fire sprinklers, and this online programme, launched in August 2020, replaces the traditional face-to-face teaching of college attendance. When we say online learning, what we mean is remote interactive learning. What will not be permitted is simply providing candidates with a set of notes or a workbook and then working through it on their own. There must be full live interaction for the duration of the course. The tutor must be able to see the candidates live and be able to communicate with them. And two-way, candidates must also be able to speak using Zoom and Skype, platforms which easily allow this kind of interaction. The learning programme consists of approximately 40 hours of learning delivered online through a wide variety of learning methodologies. It can be accessed via laptops, iPads, and even, as a last resort, mobile phone. The learner is able to access the learning modules and assessments in their own time, at their own pace, and is allowed 8 weeks from the time of enrolment to complete these online modules. No attendance at college is required, and an online tutor is available. The practical evidence required for this programme is submitted by candidate video evidence, and full guidance on the requirements are provided. A period of 6 months is permitted for this activity. The interactive learning course consists of teaching and assessment, 2 competency-based and 5 knowledge. An audio-visual presentation introduces the course to the learner. Online audio-visual presentations, quizzes, self-assessment opportunities, assignments and video assessment with remote face-to-face opportunities and discussion forums are there for each subject. Assessment dates and time limits are set for learners to submit video evidence of the practical competency. This online programme is available to commence at any time. There are no term times with online enrolments made by BAFSA. And should you wish to enrol, the course fee is £600 plus VAT for BAFSA members and £650 plus VAT for our non-BAFSA members. Course fee payment is required at the time of enrolment, and an electronic link to the programme is provided to the candidate once the course fee payment is received. The course tutor will contact the learner within 7 days of enrolment. And at this point, I would like to introduce you to Harry Hunter, course tutor at West College, Scotland, who hosts the online programme on behalf of BAFSA. Harry will give you an insight into the programme itself. But before we talk to Harry, it's worth just remembering it is good to pause and reflect on success. So now, Harry.
Hi, I'm Harry Hunter. I'm the team leader for West College Scotland, looking after the Skills for Justice Level 2 Fire Sprinkler Installer course. I'd like to take you through the course bit by bit, just so you get an understanding. So why did we go down the route of the blended learning course? Well, the sprinkler industry were having problems freeing up the workers to attend the course at dates that the courses could be run at the different colleges. So we had to look at the blended learning, and we thought that would be a good way because, as I said, the dates didn't always tie up. You had the expense of the downtime where the candidates were away from work attending college. You also had the expense for accommodation, travel, etc. So with that in mind, both BAFSA and West College Scotland met, and we formulated the need for a blended learning course. And the rationale that would come out of it is there would be no loss, little or no loss of production. The candidates can work on the course at a time that suits them. They go to the work during the day, they can do it at night, when the kids are in bed, do it at the weekends, whatever suits them, as they have access 24/7. The candidates can work at their own pace. Some candidates like to get in, get it done, get it finished and away. Others like to take their time, mull it over, and get the best grades that they can. They've always got a tutor on hand. If they're having problems, you can get in touch with the tutor, and the tutor will help them through whichever section that they're struggling with. So the course development itself, we tried to make the course as user-friendly and easy to navigate as possible. We made it a click button course, the easiest way that we could do it. The learning topics themselves, they're set by the National Occupational Standards, so we had to develop the course round about the needs of the standards. The course, we hope, we've designed it to engage the learners. We try to motivate their self-directed learning by telling them we'd like you to get this done in such a time, but not forcing it to happen. Accessibility, it's made to the EU accessibility guidelines as long as with the WCS standards themselves. So how does this course work? Well, you make your application to BAFSA. They'll receive your application form, they'll check it through, and once BAFSA are happy that your application is fine, they will pass it on to West College Scotland. Then West College Scotland will get your login details once you've enrolled in the college, and we will send you your unique login details to give you access to the blended learning site. What you'll see when you first log in is this page here, and dead simple, your username, which will be a 5,000 and something number, and your password, which will be given as well. You log in to the site, and it will take you to here. This is called the dashboard, and on the dashboard are the courses you could access, but the one that we are interested in is the IQ fire sprinklers that's on the left-hand side. If you look directly below it, we're at 0% progress. That'll explain a wee bit later on as we go through. Once you click onto the tab that's in the dashboard, it'll take you to the actual learning page itself. As you can see, there's a small introduction highlighting who the lecturers are at the 3 colleges, and a small introduction video that you can watch, and it gives you a wee bit of info on the course itself. As you were to move down the page, we have a course forum where the candidates can talk peer-to-peer, ask questions, have discussions. It's for them to use so that no one's ever stuck. And you can see that the titles of the different units are working their way down the left-hand side. It's a case of you pick whichever modular unit you want to do, click on it, and it will take you to the next page. So I've clicked on the Communicate Effectively in the Workplace, and as you look, you'll see on the right-hand side, there's 3 boxes that are blank. Again, I'll explain exactly what that's about as we move through. You'll see the title of the module, and it'll give you a rough idea of the duration of time. You can enter and leave and re-enter and back and forward as many times as you wish to do. Once you start the video up, this is just a typical slide from the start of one of the modules, starting out with effective communication. You'll see at the bottom of the page, you've got the mute button for the sound, turning sound up and down. We have the play button, we have the play bar as well. So if you're not sure of something, the candidate can click, take it back, and rerun that part of the video again. It does say you need headphones, but that's only if you don't want to annoy anyone. If you're quite happy to annoy everyone, you don't need them. At the end of the video modules, there's short quizzes, and they're there as formative questions just to give you, the candidates, an idea of how you're actually doing. There's a pass mark of 70%, and you can try these assessments, as quizzes, sorry, as many times as you want. Okay, and here's just a typical question, which I think we won't bother with the answer because it's a wee bit controversial. But once you've picked whether it's true or false, you click submit, and you would get the correct answer coming up on the following page to tell you how you've done. Right, so we're finished the quizzes. We're back to our module place, which is communicate effectively in the workplace, you'll now see that because we're starting out with effective communications, the box on the right-hand side has now been ticked. And that just shows that we've been into that site and we know we've done some work within there. Further down the page, there's a fire sprinkler installation and handover module. Now, due to COVID, we are allowed to use video evidence at the moment, and it's good because your guys are in the workplace. They're doing their normal jobs and they just record themselves as they're doing it. You'll see that we have the assessment descriptor, and that explains to the candidate everything that they need to cover within these videos. And to help, we've put in some example videos. There's 21 in total that they can view as many times as they want, and that gives them an idea of what level we're actually looking for in the video evidence. Again, if we look at the right-hand side, we can see which videos have been viewed and which haven't. So, although we know that we've been into the modules, the last couple of pages, we can actually check, or the candidate can check, when was the last time that they accessed the site, how long ago was it since accessed, and how long did they spend. Now, the lecturer has a more in-depth version of this, and we can tell exactly how long you spent on each of the modules, when you did it, and how you got on with it. Once the candidate has attempted the assessments at the end of the page, this is just a typical question that they would get. They click their answers, work their way through the full page, submit their answers, they're given their score, and they're given the opportunity to review the answers and questions that they were given. Now, it was set up in such a way that the questions are random, and so are the answers. So what you may have as question 1 might turn out to be question 10 for someone else. It just saves any dubiety, and it helps with the internal quality. If we go back to our dashboard, we can see now that on the right-hand side, we have 9% complete of this course. Again, it's an indicator. If you've just started, that's fine. If you're nearing the end of your time, well, you need to move on a wee bit. And that's just a quick tour around about the course. It's more enjoyable, a wee bit more exciting when you're actually doing it for real. So, thank you for listening. But before I go, I'm going to play a small video of one of the students that was on the pilot scheme, giving his views on the course. Right, thank you very much for listening.
Hi there, I'm John Kerr from Viewpoint Fire Protection, who recently took part in the pilot scheme for the L2 fire sprinkler installer course. At first I wasn't too sure about the course, as it's all obviously new and stuff, but once I actually started doing the course, I found it really easy to navigate and stuff. Had a couple of wee teething problems at the start, just trying to sign in and stuff, but I spoke to Harry from the college, who's your main contact, and he basically just emailed me back the right information, gave me a brief description how to sign in, how to do it and stuff, which made it much easier. During the course, because I was in the pilot scheme, we only had a certain amount of time to do it. We were finding little issues here and there. As soon as we reported them back to Harry, they were sorted. So there was always that contact that we had with Harry to put things right. So there was. We had good team meetings throughout the course. So usually once or maybe twice a week we'd have a team meeting. Just everybody would be able to put their thoughts together, get their points across, anything they were unsure about, sorry. And it was actually pretty good because there was other people throughout the country who were on obviously doing all different kinds of jobs and stuff, so it was good to get their feedback as well. So it was, and the team meetings always involved a BAFSA member on the team, meeting as well, so that was good. But generally I found the course was well set up, had wee navigation problems, but once you actually get into it, you get the grips with it, and it's fairly simple to get through. I really enjoyed the course, and there was some good tips in it for moving forward. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Harry, for taking us through how the Experienced Worker Route programme works. This other route, the Level 2 Certificate in Fire Sprinkler Installation Online, is available for those who have less than 3 years experience of working in the fire protection sector installing fire sprinklers. This learning programme consists of 80 hours of learning, delivered online through the same learning methodologies as earlier demonstrated, but with 10 days attendance at college, where the practical requirements of the programme can be taught and assessed through face-to-face teaching. You may ask why college attendance is required for this programme. Quite simply, engineering subject does not easily lend itself to digital learning. Being in a fully equipped training room with a tutor on hand definitely has its advantages. College attendance will vary, whether it be day or block release, depending on the chosen college availability. But this practical training still must be completed within 6 months of enrolment. The qualification is offered at Niceport Talbot College, London South East College and West College Scotland, with enrolments being via BAFSA. And, should you wish to enrol, here are the course fees. Please do note though, that at this moment, the programme is on hold pending COVID-19 restrictions being lifted and face-to-face teaching resuming in the summer. The BAFSA Skills and Development page will keep you updated. Moving on and away from the Level 2 Certificate in Fire Sprinkler Installation delivered by BAFSA's preferred training provider, the colleges I mentioned earlier, we do realise there is a myriad of training programmes out there. Training providers can and do deliver their own training and award their own personal qualification. And it is important for students to understand the difference between a qualification a training provider awards themselves and one delivered by an accredited training provider. A personal qualification means that while the training may be excellent and recognised by the provider, if it is not on the National Qualifications and Credit Framework, it may then not be recognised by key stakeholders across the industry. A nationally recognised qualification is one that has been delivered by a provider who is accredited by an awarding body and whose qualification is nationally recognised. For example, the Level 2, the IQ Level 2 Certificate in Fire Sprinkler Installation. It is recognised by industry, skill card, and in some cases recognised in Europe and often in other countries worldwide. If your provider's qualification is not on the Qualification and Credit Framework, it will not be recognised. So how do you identify a nationally recognised qualification? Very simply, do ask questions of your potential training provider and follow the steps below. Check to see the full title of the course, the name of the awarding organisation, Skills for Justice, IQ, Agored. Check that the provider is a current provider with Ofqual, the qualifications regulator. And if after looking at the information you are still unclear, contact the provider and ask for further clarification. If you seek information, please do contact BAFSA. This unit of accreditation, the Agored Award in Installation and Maintenance of Automatic Fire Sprinklers in Domestic Dwellings, is available to experienced plumbers and those already working within the industry who hold the Level 3 Water Regulations qualification. It allows them to gain the necessary knowledge to install and maintain domestic sprinklers. This comprehensive course over 5 days is currently delivered through BAFSA's preferred training providers, with enrolments being made directly at the college. The course consists of legislation, codes of practice and guidance documents, occupancy categories, principles of sprinkler design systems, the requirements of systems, water supplies, town mains, tanks and pumps, sprinkler heads, positioning, pipework, valves, frost protection options, alarm and warning requirements and configurations, certification and documentation. But it's not all about the installation of sprinkler systems. This unit of accreditation, the inspecting the installation of fire sprinkler systems, is available to other parties with an influence over the industry, such as building control, site foremen and women, fire officers, architects, designers, specifiers, all providing them with the relevant information to identify good and bad installations and their compliance with building regulations. This one-day course is CPD aligned and supported by BAFSA. BAFSA and third-party certification schemes recognise the design of a sprinkler system is paramount to a successful installation, and to achieve third-party accreditation, designers must be able to show competency through the existing schemes by successfully completing competence reviews. There are currently 2 British standards for the design and installation of automatic sprinkler systems installed in the UK, these being BS EN 12845 and BS 9251. Both sprinkler system design standards strongly recommend the use of third-party, certificated, listed or approved contractors for the design and installation of a system. Third-party certification in the UK is a voluntary process through which reputable companies choose to demonstrate their competence and ability to their client. The independent third party is confirming that the certificated company is competent and suitable to undertake a certain type of work within recognised scope parameters, and companies that are part of a third-party certification scheme are subject to regular audits. If you are looking for training in design for the residential and domestic market or the commercial market, then if starting off from scratch, it is recommended to start with the basic design course, then the inspection, intermediate and finally the fully hydraulically calculated system course, more often known as the FHC. Courses are generally followed up by the LPCP competency exam. And of course, BAFSA can provide these courses, and further information on courses can be found here at the website. And of course, whilst on the subject of skills and qualifications and training, we must remember the importance of CPD, continuing professional development. How many of you passed your driving test years ago? Could you pass it now? Ensuring we keep our proficiency and skill set relevant is something that cannot be understated. CPD is important. It helps us to ensure that further learning is progressed in a structured, practical and relevant way to guarantee there are applied efficiencies in learning. So, what's next in terms of skills and development, I hear you ask? Well, we continue. We continue with providing information and advice to those looking to evidence their competency through training. We promote the Level 2 certificate in fire sprinkler installation as far and wide as possible, so that it is fully embedded in industry along with its associated skill card. And just as there is a shortage of skills that needs to be addressed, BAFSA will continue to lead the way in developing new qualification and training for testing, inspection, maintenance and services of sprinkler systems, and agreeing those all-important CPD and refresher training activities for the sector. However, there is no quick fix when addressing either workplace competency or recruitment requirements, and if we are all to ensure that any qualification or training development is meaningful and to be of value to the sector, it is important that time is taken by key organisations and associations to have the necessary discussion with industry, and so the journey into education continues. All of the above will not be possible without the support of BAFSA Council and the membership. And on behalf of BAFSA, I thank you for listening and hope that you all stay safe and well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruth. Before we go into the questions, you will have noticed we put a poll up at the beginning, which of course we couldn't ask you to answer. So I would remind you, could you please respond to the question, do you currently hold a skill card for fire sprinkler installers, and are you likely to apply for one? Thank you very much. Now, I would also hope that our presentations this morning have inspired some questions. Please go down to the Q&A button at the bottom and enter your questions. And before you do, I'd like to invite Ruth, Harry and Keith to join us back on the screen. And I'd like to introduce Alan Crichton, who is our BAFSA design course facilitator and chairman of the technical committee. Good morning all, thank you very much for your presentations. We have received a few questions and I would ask you to jump in and answer them where you think it's relevant. So let's start with, I've received, is there a level 1 qualification for installers?
Hello, Wendy. Hello. It's Ruth, obviously. No, there is no level 1 qualification for installers. Quite simply, the industry and the government for years now accept that a level 2 qualification is the entrance into the workforce, a level 2 being equivalent to the 5 GCSEs that's usually required. So no, there is no level 1.
Okay. Next, we've been asked.
What is a level 2 equivalent to?
Yes.
Yeah, a level 2 these days is equivalent to 5 GCSEs. Now, in my day, they were GCEs, but they are now GCSEs, and it used to be A to C. I believe now the education system has changed. I'm not quite fully conversant with it, but it's either 1 to 9 on the grade. So whatever it was at A, it's still an A to C or a 1 to 4. I'm not quite sure on their new scale, but yeah, 5 GCSEs.
Thank you, Ruth. I'm sorry if my sound is bad. I think I have sparrows on the line outside my
Don't
office.
worry, we got there.
Harry, I think this one's for you. Could a lesser course be put together so that designers and project managers could get an understanding of fitting without the practice element?
Yeah, well, there is the CPD event that would cover the building control officers and such. So yes, it is there. It is available at the moment. It's the 1-day course. I believe it's delivered at the 3 colleges. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. Now, Paul Stoher is asking, what developments are underway to provide a formal apprenticeship for the young trainees in the industry? Will this be developed once a level 3 diploma is ongoing?
I can come in here if that's helpful. It's very, very unlikely there will be an apprenticeship for fire sprinkler installation. When the industry decided on their qualification, they felt it was appropriate for those age 18 or over. So obviously we do need to look at numbers. Unfortunately, the recruitment for young people is not particularly high in the sector, and therefore the cost of developing an apprenticeship actually wouldn't necessarily mean that we would have the people that would wish to go on there. So unfortunately, unless there's huge demand from the sector to suddenly say we want an apprenticeship, it's unlikely.
Thank you. I hope that answered your query, Paul. So what skill card is available for site surveyors?
Sorry, Wendy, you've broken up again. Skill card for site
supervisors.
Oh, Keith, I think I might need a bit of help here. If I remember correctly, it's a gold card, I think, for supervisors.
Yeah,
Certainly
I think that's the case when Ruth.
Yeah, I think it's blue card for experienced or skilled, red card for trainee. I do believe there is a green card available for certain
Yeah,
occupations
a
and
green
jobs.
card is available for a sprinkler fitter's mate,
Yeah,
but they can only access the site as long as there is a qualified sprinkler fitter with them. And the ratio is 4 to 1. So you can have 4 mates to 1 fitter.
Thank you for that, Risa. There is another skill. Skills are actually available for trainees.
the skill cards for trainees, did you say?
Whether there are other skill cards available.
There are thousands of skill cards available. It all depends what you want, who you wish to look at, which organisation you wish to get your card from, what qualifications you've got, what industry you're working in. BAFSA support the industry skill card through BAFSA, an industry skill card organisation, but there are other cards freely available. Well, I won't say freely, but available out there. It all depends on your skill, the training you've had, and which card you're actually looking for.
On the poll, we note that 42% of you currently hold a skill card, whilst 58% don't. And whether you're likely to apply for it, I presume of those 58%, 35% are, whereas 38% are not. And 27% already hold one. Right, so that's 20%, 27% of the 42. Sorry, percentages and statistics are not my strongest thing. We've not, oh, we do have some more questions lately come in. Alex Karaha is asking, as someone who was previously employed by an LPCB level 4 company, I completed my basic, intermediate and FHC exams. I want to get my site inspection or equivalent, but I'm no longer part of an LP.
I'll jump in here. Basically, I think if you want to sit your exams through the LPC, you need to be a member of a company who's within the LPC 1048 scheme. Yeah, subcontractors or people outside the scheme can't actually apply for it unless they're part of the LPS 1048 scheme, unfortunately. Okay.
However, what I would say is that you can carry forward your certificates that you attained through LPCB. You are able to transfer them if you move to another company. And if you wish to do the courses, the 4 design courses with BAFSA, you can go through FIRAS and have a technical audit with FIRAS, and more recently IFC, and have technical audits with them. So you're not confined to LPCB, although that is the recognised qualification.
I think that probably you've answered this, Keith, but Alex also asks, is there no central competency accreditation available?
Well, yeah, I would say the competency is available through all 3 of the third-party certification bodies, IFC, FIRAS and LPCB. All have a record of competency of those that have gone through the assessments with them, as have the companies when they've been assessed and audited.
Right. Well, thank you very much, one and all. Thank you very much to our participants. I'm going to ask Keith to say a few final closing words.
Just to thank Wendy for organising this, and thank you to Ruth and Harry and Alan for speaking as well. We'll be having many more webinars. The next one is going to be on care homes, so please keep an eye out for our adverts for those. And thank you very much for all your questions and participating. Thank you.